Welcome back. This is my video about the plot person role. So you should all be sitting together with your other plot people. This is the first literature circle, right? The one in there. Your reading assignment would be the reading assignment that you should have completed before this class. So that would be pages 3 through 12 in chapter 1. I also highly suggest jotting your name somewhere on here since these are disconnected. So your job as plot person is to summarize. The first thing you're going to want to do, and you could do this as a group or individually, is create a chapter title that you wish to make up for this reading. This can be as creative as you would like, or it can be straightforward. As long as you create it for your group, you will present that. Then, for your summary, you have to write a 9 to 12 sentence summary of what happened during this reading. This needs to be completely unlike any internet source because I will check them. It should also and has to include your personal opinions, current grammar concepts from our learning, which means you have 3 different phrases to choose from and make sure that you use them. And if possible, can you include any diction from your Membean work? Remember that it's up to us to employ these things to continue our practice. So this is a 9 to 12 sentence summary of which I give you lines. If this is not enough space, and it hasn't been for some students, feel free to do this on a separate sheet of paper that you attach to this one, or you may type, print, and attach. In addition to writing a summary, today during your workday, you have got to consider vocabulary. So you need to choose diction from this chapter and record 4 words, their definitions, and part of speech below. So I did an example with the word word, which is a noun, a single distinct meaningful element of sound. 4 is not very many. Make sure that you choose these from throughout the section. There are so many good words that Ellie uses. Try to avoid words that are specific to Judaism. Instead, choose words that are helpful that anyone could need more information about in the English language. So a great example of this is on page 7. On page 7, in the second full paragraph, the word is insinuated. That's an excellent word that would be very useful to students, and you could define that and include that here. That is all you have to do in class today. However, you also need to review the back of your worksheet to see what you are going to do. So this is the discussion record. If the first half is your individual work, this is the part that you're going to complete on Wednesday in class. You start the circle. It always goes in order. So first you're going to share, then you're going to lead, then you're going to record, and then you're going to reflect. When you share, to start the circle, you need to open discussion by welcoming your peers and reminding them what section of night they're here to discuss. So you're literally the person that says, hey guys, so remember we are the red group and we're here to talk about pages 3 through 12 of night. That's your job. And then you've got to summarize by referring to your written work, but do not read straight from this paper. Nobody wants to listen to you do that. So you are in charge of knowing what's going on in this section well enough that you're able to talk it out loud. Once you finish summarizing, you are in charge of leading the discussion. When you finish, choose a few questions to discuss with your peers. Discuss until your time runs out. I often suggest that kids choose 1 or 2 of these questions in advance and know that they want to ask them. Remember, you get to speak for 10 or 8, depending on if you're a bigger group, 8 to 10 minutes on these topics. So your sharing and summarizing may only take 2 or 3. That's quick. Then you will want to lead the discussion for the next 5 to 7 minutes. You'll do that by asking questions like, does anyone have any questions about the plot of the reading that I can answer for you? And it's up to your friends to have questions if they don't understand something. Or, what part of the plot of this reading stuck out to you and why? That's a much more open-ended question. I suggest that you always start with this first one and then choose one of the other 3 to be prepared to ask as well. The next one is, what would be important to know or remember if you were quizzed on this reading? Like looking at the most important main ideas of the section. And were there any big changes or surprises in this section of the text? Explain. While you are leading this discussion, this section here called Record and Participate says record 2 to 3 insightful things that your peers bring up when you lead the discussion. So if they bring up something interesting about what the most important part of the section is, this is where you jot those notes down. These are bullet point notes for you. Additionally, when your time is up and it's someone else's turn, this is where you'll record things that were mentioned by the group during another person's turn to lead. Therefore, I expect this to be full up of bullet points of important information. As the time is ticking down, someone's probably going to have a timer up so that you can see that I've only got about 30 seconds left. Great. When your time is almost up, it's up to you to summarize what was said in your conversation and pass the discussion on to the next person. In the case of Lit Circle 1, that will be the context connector. In the last 5 minutes of your literature circle, you will reflect once it's fully complete. You just get to give me a couple of ideas worth sharing. You get to fill in the number of stars to tell me how successful your lit circle is and explain it in a phrase. That is your entire role. To recap, in your lit circle work day today, you are filling out the front of this worksheet, which you are completing with or without help with a partner or group. Then you need to preview and make sure you are ready to be the plot person for your discussion, which is a grade. You need to know how you're going to summarize. I might practice saying it out loud. Choose what questions you want to say. Be ready to record, participate, and reflect. I hope this makes sense. Email me if you have any questions. More importantly, come see me tomorrow before or after school, or an advisory if we have it, but it actually might be a chapel reflection, so maybe not. But come and see me if you need me so that I can clarify. There is no excuse for not getting this done. And I think that's all I have to say. Plot people, go forth. You can do it.